Hey everyone! Today I'll be talking about the development of ballet staging starting from the first ballet comique up to the development of the Romantic Ballet. What is ballet staging? I, like most, have always thought that ballets were presented on the large stage in the Grand Theater with the big red curtain. However, throughout knowledge gained in the classroom, along with further research of my own, I have found that setting and staging of ballet has drastically changed over time. To begin, I have to go back to the birth of ballet, the ballet comique. In late Renaissance society, dance was not considered merely a source of light-hearted entertainment or physical recreation, but a profoundly intellectual experience for both participants and spectators. 16th century dance, like the arts of music and poetry, was infused with new meaning and innovation. The ballet comique was the theatrical revolution of the time. The first major ballet production in history was the Ballet Comique de la Reine. Because Queen Catherine allotted a seemingly unlimited budget, the setting and staging for this ballet was beyond elaborate. As we learned already in class, the ballet took place in the grand courtyard at the Louvre. Because everyone was above in balconies looking down, the dancing was very much about geometrical formations. There were many pieces, such as this grand fountain, that added to the grandeur that Catherine was hoping to create. As well as showing off the extravagance of the court, the placement of the king at one end, where the performers would face, also allowed for everyone to acknowledge and glorify the king and his nobles. After the ballet comique came the rise of the ballet masquerades. They were known to society for their flamboyant appearances and showy themes created by King Louis XIV. A lot of the set design during this time was influenced by the Italian Renaissance. In 1545, the famous architect Sebastian Serlio published Architectura, which was a major influence for the court's designers. Brockett says, Serlio's playhouse was erected in a large existing room in the court palace, the standard practice of the day. The stage, located at one end of the room, was raised to the ruler's eye level. The front half of the stage floor was level. The rear half sloped up towards the back wall, increasing the illusion of depth. The scenery was placed on the raked portion of the stage. This is where we get the terms upstage and downstage. Ingo Jones, a major designer of the time, used many influences from Serlio. In 1608, he began to use the proscenium arch to frame scenery. Next came the opera ballet. Many stage effects and methods were developed during this time that were still used today. Maieri explains it all very well, stating, the foundations of modern theater were consolidated by opera in the 17th century with the invention of perspective, the conventional use of the auditorium, proscenium, curtain, stage scenery, and orchestra pit. Baroque stage scenery solved the standing problem of transforming two-dimensional surfaces into pictures of depth through perspective, lighting, masking, and layering. The same tricks of illusion used today. Baroque theater technology mechanized scene changes formally coordinated by hundreds of stagehands. Transformations in scenery, scene changes, flying entrances and exits, and animated nature may seem ludicrous and awkward to the modern eye. Yet many of the experiments of the Baroque period became standard and are still used today. Then came the Ballet d'Action. During this time, theater as a cultural institution underwent a process of professionalization in which the performer and observer began to be separated from each other. In Novaire's 7 Points of Reform, he states that costumes, sets, and lighting must be compatible with the introduction, plot, and climax of each act. Prior to the Ballet d'Action, sets were about opulence of the courts, and at this point they became more reflective of the story and of the dance. In the development of the Romantic ballet, set designs and ideas were carried over from the Baroque period. With each new development came more efficiency and effectiveness with the sets. Lee states that rustic scenery was designed to be realistic in an effort to recall the beauty of nature. By the same token were the mandatory machines designed to fly dancers short distances, thus heightening the magical effects of the ballet. Trapdoors are a major feature in Romantic ballet in that they made it possible for evil creatures to disappear into a fiery abyss. An example from the Romantic period that represented the new technology is La Sylphide's scene, where the sylph flies up into the fireplace. Another big development during the Romantic era was the use of the gas lighting. Prior to this time, the house and stage were all lit by thousands of candles. With the use of the gas light, the house lights can now be dimmed during the show, which is something we still use today. That concludes my presentation. Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. Thank you.